3 weeks ago, I did something that I had never done before. I played in my first ever disc golf tournament. Here's how it went. I didn't get any footage of the round, unfortunately, so I'm using B-roll from a round I played recently at my local course. It started out as just a simple idea. I had been playing for 3 months, slowly starting to really love it and get better at my own pace. I did some more research, watched some videos, found out there was a way to play in competitive formats, which I play against friends all the time and I love that competitive style. So I wanted to kind of dip my feet in and see what I could do. Little did I know that the closest tournament to me was on the east side of the state over in Shelby Township at a place called Stony Metropark. I'm originally from the east side of Michigan, now living on the west side of Michigan, but I had never played this course, I had never heard of this course. I didn't even pick up disc golf until after I moved over here. So this was all very new to me. Since it was on the east side of the state, it meant that I had to get up at around 5:50 a.m. to get over there in time for the tee off, my first tee off. So I could not sleep at all the night before. I was tossing and turning. I was just so nervous to play in this tournament. And I just really wanted to do well. I just mainly didn't want to embarrass myself. That was the biggest thing that I was trying to do. I kept telling my wife that I just didn't want to get last. I just want to play my disc golf, and being that it was a course that I had never played before, my expectations were really low. I didn't want to finish in the top 3. I didn't want to finish in the top 5. I just wanted to not finish last. There ended up being 16 other people in my division, which was the MA4 division. And if you don't know, the MA4 division is the beginning division in tournament disc golf. You have the MA4 division, you have the MA3 division, MA2, MA1, MPO, and so on and so forth. So this was just the beginning of the beginning, the earliest you could get, the easiest competition you could get. Basically, everyone who's new to tournaments, everyone who might be new to disc golf, is just playing in this tournament for the first time. A lot of the card mates that I had were playing for their first time in a tournament. So I felt more at ease once I found that out. My fellow card mates too, when I got there, were super nice. They were super friendly, helped me out with the course, letting me know where everything was, where OB was, where danger was, what I wanted to throw. And as the round went on, it got easier and easier, and I felt more comfortable being in a tournament setting. So I check in, nerves are just firing everywhere. It's a shotgun start, so we're starting on hole 11, and I am just so incredibly nervous. I don't know if I should introduce myself to my card mates. I don't know what kosher is for these disc golf tournaments, so I was just so nervous. And luck would have it, in my first ever tournament, I was first to tee off. So blind course. No, first tournament ever, don't know what I'm doing. Nerves are just freaking out. No idea what disc to throw. To be honest with you, I don't even remember what the first disc I threw was. But all I know is I don't think I'll ever experience that amount of nerves as my first throw ever in a tournament, and especially the first throw out of all the people. I didn't get to see anyone else throw. So I gave it my best shot. It landed just fine somewhere short in the fairway, and I was able to actually go up and down for par for my first ever hole at a disc golf tournament. After that first par, the nerves settled down quite a bit. I felt more like I was supposed to be there. I felt like I belonged there. I felt like knowing myself and my competitiveness, I was just going to play smart disc golf, throw conservative shots, don't try to be a hero. Because at this division, par really does win these tournaments. If you can birdie, awesome. But in the MA4 division, you're just trying not to bogey. And that was something that I really wanted to hit home when I first got there. So my next few holes, I actually went par the next hole, bogeyed my third hole of the day, and then I went par, 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 par. So 5 pars in a row. After that, really settled in. I did bogey the next 2 after that. But then on hole 5, I got my first birdie ever in a tournament, and I just felt on top of the world. I felt like nothing could stop me from winning this thing, even though I had no idea where I was in the tournament standings wise. I was doing everything in my power to not check my position, and I just wanted to play without knowing. My wife was tuning in on the app live and just texting me, encouraging me all throughout the tournament, and that really helped me a lot. Just knowing that it's supporting me, and just doing everything she can to make me feel comfortable there. That really meant a lot to me. So at the end of the first round, I looked at the scorecard to see how I was doing. I was in second place at +6. The guy in my same card was leading with a +4. So I shot 6 over at a course that I had never played before in the MA4 division. I was super, super happy about that. That ended up being an 858 rated round, which I had never played any rated rounds in my life, so I really had no idea what to look for ratings. But I was very happy with that. Just happy to get that first round in my belt and hopefully do way better on the second round. So I started the second round in second place. I tried not to let the nerves get to me again. The guy that was ahead of me was playing a lot better than I was, and he knew the course, and I tried to just visualize every shot I took in that first round. So when I went through the next time, I knew exactly what to throw. I had the advantage of hindsight. I could remember right away what I threw on that last hole, what worked, what didn't. And I just used that knowledge to play the best round I could with what I had. So again, I was just trying to do conservative disc golf. I knew what holes I could birdie if I really wanted to, what holes I should just settle for par. And that really helped my mindset. And it also helped that I did not check where I was standing wise again for round 2, because something just happens, something gets in your head where you're standings watching. Happens in professional sports all the time. And you just get in your own head and you're like, I need to do this to get to this position. I need to not blow up. And then what do? You have a negative mindset going into a hole and you blow up. So I was trying everything in my power to not do that. I was really being careful when I entered in my scores on the scorecard, not to look at anything. And mentally, it didn't fully go away. In my head, I was kind of trying to keep track of where everyone was. If the guy who was ahead of me was bogeying, if the guy who was tied with me for second was bogeying, and just trying to have fun, I think once I realized that I'm playing around just the same as I would with my friends. Yeah, it's a tournament, it's competitive. Everyone wants to win a tournament. Everyone wants to get a trophy, whatever. That's a cool thing to have on your profile, on your resume. It's just fun to win, right? But breaking it down and just realizing that I'm out here having fun playing disc golf with just these other people that love to play disc golf. They wouldn't be doing a tournament if they didn't love disc golf. And just meeting all these friendly people, fun people. It was just so much more than me going and playing a tournament. It was me just having fun, doing a sport that I love, playing in a tournament and competition, which I hadn't done in a long time since before, I was in high school and college. It's been a while since I could play competitively for something. So I just really took that into perspective, and that's what's helped my mindset for the second round. So I started the second round. We started on 13 again, shotgun start. I ended up bogeying that, getting in my head and thinking, okay, now I know I'm down again. I'm going to have to make up some strokes here if I'm going to want to win this thing, right? So hole 14, par it. Hole 15, a hole that I bogeyed on the first round because I really just didn't know the hole makeup, I birdied it. Next hole par, next hole birdie, getting in a rhythm, just feeling good, I only one bogey my first hole on my card. Everything else has been par, birdie, par, birdie. Par the next hole, parred the next hole after that, parred the next hole after that, really got in a groove, started just using discs that I knew were going to work in this wind, making smart, informed decisions about discs that turn over, discs that don't turn over. It's freezing cold, a lot of wind, using more overstable discs so that I don't get this crazy turn out of, some of my discs. I threw a Halo Wraith in round one that I've never gotten to turn over on a big 300-foot hole, and it turned over like it was nothing. And I just was like, that was just such a big moment for me. I was like, I've never turned that disc over in my life. I don't have that arm speed. How did it turn over? And that experience helped me understand more about headwind, tailwind, understability, overstability in wind and in cold. And because of that, for the second round, I was able to use that information and disc up, throw overstable discs, and that really helped. And then so we're through 9. I'm sitting at -2 through 9, getting to the back stretch, feeling great. I kind of in my head am thinking that I'm in the lead now. I'm not too sure because I know I've birdied quite a few holes. I just am having trouble remembering mentally what the other 3 guys are throwing and if they bogeyed or not. So I get to the 10th hole, bogey it, and the next 2 holes were very short holes that I knew I could birdie this time. Hole 5, I birdied the first round. That was the only birdie I got that whole round. So I was feeling confident, threw a nice mid-range right to the basket, parked it, tapped it in for birdie. First ever 2 birdies in the row. Next hole, do the same thing. Feeling great. Getting to the end of the round here. Bogey the next hole, and then I parred the next 2. The only annoying thing is hole 8 and 9 that I played, which would be hole 15 and 16 for the round. I should have birdied both of those. So, yeah, I can be down on myself. Yeah, I can, say, oh, man, if I birdied those 2, maybe my finish would have been even better. Maybe I lose this thing because I didn't birdie those. So I tried to just flush that mindset right out of my head and play the rest of the round just as conservative as I can. So I get to hole 12, last hole of the day. Not really sure where I stand in the standings, but this is the blow-up hole that I had on round 1. I threw a very flippy driver. I actually threw this Eclipse Vanish, which I just recently got. It's a -3 for stability. So in my head, I was thinking, oh yeah, this is going to flip, no problem. Didn't realize that the Eclipse Glow plastic is more stable. And so I threw this shot and it was down a hill to the left, almost OB. I ended up double bogeying on the first round. That was my only double bogey of the entire tournament. So going into the last hole this time, I was like, I am not doing that. I'm grabbing a mid-range, throwing it as best I can, 200 feet, and whatever happens, happens. So I throw a nice drive, throw a nice second shot. I'm about 10, 15 feet from the basket for my par, and I hit cage to finish the round. So I tap in for bogey, thinking to myself, how could you just, leave it short, your last hole of the day? Everything was going well. You were feeling great. You had 5 birdies on the card for round 2, and you just head to bogey to finish the round. So hopefully hole 18s don't stay that, mentally hard for me, and I'm just able to finish the round like with a par at least. But yeah, I was pretty upset with that bogey. So after the round was over, we all shook hands. We're walking back to the award ceremony, to see how everyone did, how everyone finished. As I'm walking back, I haven't looked at the card yet. I've just been too nervous to look to see where I finished. And the guys are congratulating me, saying, "I think you won, man. I think you won." And I was like, "Really? Like, you really think I did? I didn't think I did that well." And they're like, "Yeah, man, you actually crushed it. You shot even on this last round." And I was like, "Even? I knew I threw some birdies, but I bogeyed so many holes. I couldn't believe I had even." And I remember just walking to the award ceremony like, did I just win my first tournament ever? Did that just happen? I mean, there were 16 other people in this beginning division. I just started disc golf 3 months ago. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it until I got there. So I get to the table. He's giving out, the tournament director, super awesome guy. He's giving out, awards. There's trophies for the division winners, which secretly I was really hoping to get, because who doesn't want a trophy? And I get up there, and he's like, ask people where everyone finished. And he's like, hey, how's it going, man? How'd you finish? And I was like, I actually got first. And he's like, first? Well, congratulations, man. That's great. You shot even on the back, I saw. That's awesome. That's huge. This is a tough course. This is a tough day to play. And I was like, oh, thank you, man. That means a lot. And he's like, yeah, let me get your picture with the trophy, and let me get your everything set up so you can let me get you this disc and everything. And I was like, oh, awesome, man. This is so cool. I felt so good. I was on cloud nine. I was like, I could not wait to get in the car and call my wife and be like, I won. You'll never guess what happened, but I won. And I'm just so excited to continue this journey, and just try to get better, play in MA3, move up to MA2, move up to MA1, and maybe one day eventually move to MPO. I know progress isn't always linear. There's a lot of ups and downs. So I'm just right now trying to get better every day, get better at putting, get better at driving, disc choice, everything like that. And hopefully maybe sometime at the end of this year I'll be playing MA3 tournaments. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just so thankful for being able to play this sport. I'm so thankful that, God has given me this gift to just play and communicate and build relationships with people and through disc golf. I think this is just another way where I can just, glorify him and share his love and spread the word about the good news. So to recap everything, I won my first tournament. I got 5 birdies in a round in my first tournament. I shot even at my first tournament, and I shot a 900 plus rated round in my first tournament ever. Almost a 900 rated 2 rounds together. So, what more can you say? Hopefully I didn't peak. Hopefully there's more to come. But if you love the content, if you want to follow this journey, please subscribe. I'll be uploading weekly, hopefully, maybe every other week. And I'll be playing tournaments a lot this spring, summer, and fall. And I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys like the journey and just follow my journey to pro disc golf. Peace.